A lot of you struggle with slices, cutting across the ball, not particularly good, powerful strikes. And you think, well, maybe I'm too old, maybe I'm just not got a good enough swing, I don't have enough flexibility. Chances are that's absolute cobblers, because I talk a lot about the importance of getting posture and setup right. Anything, oh, boring, don't go away, because you need to hear this. The setup, meaning how we literally set up our intentions for the shot we're going to hit, is going to dictate what happens later. But not just that, the better job we do at setting ourselves up is going to mean we need less manipulation throughout the entire swing. The more you understand that and start applying it to every single shot you hit, the better you're going to be, guaranteed. So instead of worrying so much about what's happening here, what's happening here, all of these kind of things that happen in a split second, if you don't have much time to practice, to train, or know exactly what swing you need to do for your body type, for your swing type, you are literally wasting your time trying to adjust, trying to manipulate, trying to make things happen during a golf swing. So I'm going to give you something that no one really tells you about, and it's the arm position, and the arm position of how we set up. And one of the examples of someone who does this fantastically, I mean, there's several golfers that we can all reference. Henrik Stenson springs to mind, but also Bryson DeChambeau, who, as you'll probably know, is having quite a good run of golf lately. And he's a phenomenal golfer for a number of reasons. And he really does an exceptional job at setting himself up to produce the motion that he wants. And that's one reason why he can hit the ball far and hit it, with speed, because he's not trying to manipulate too much during the swing. He's done most of the hard work at the very beginning. That's where most of the intention needs to be for you. So at the beginning, I mentioned about cutting across it and slicing. This tip is going to really, really help that, but also dozens of other factors. And it all stems from your arm position here. Now, I've got a lesson a few months back where I talk about placing the arms on top of the chest. That is still valid, about having those arms on top of the chest instead of at the side here where we're always trying to reach around. But what we're going to look at is some minutia, but I want you to try this with me, okay? The shoulders, as we make our setup, and we want to allow those arms to hang as naturally as possible, especially the lead arm here. We make sure that our hip is a little bit higher. We want to make sure that we've got enough weight on the front side, especially with an iron driver. We can talk about that another time. This is my setup, and I want my clubs to match my setup. But what's happening a lot of times when you're taking your grip, taking your setup, you're actually sort of manipulating yourself, trying to get a strong grip potentially, and you're bringing in this arm here. And you're trying to sort of keep it connected. You're trying so hard to stay connected that what happens is you end up internally rotating the shoulders, right? Trying to stay so connected. And that doesn't serve us well for a number of reasons. If we have this shoulder internally rotated, you can see immediately that my direction, and even if my chest isn't open, my shoulders are not, aiming to the left too much, initially, if I tuck in my elbow and my arm this way, that's going to tuck in this shoulder. And that's going to alter my sequence for one thing, but really my path of the direction of this club that is coming down here. It's going to encourage me to come across it. And then you think, well, I've got to shallow the club, or I've got to try and swing out to the right. So you've got your setup where this is tucked in. I don't want to swing over the top, so you try and swing further right, but all that happens is you become more disconnected. Your body thrusts forward because you're trying to, if you're not losing that connection, you're trying to keep it, and you end up sort of shoving it that way, or you just wipe across the ball, keeping your body very static. Even if you you have the ability to rotate, you're going to swipe across it. That's just one of the faults that this arm position causes. It robs you of power as well. All we need to do is one minute, tiny change to your arm position. And what I want you to feel is as we're taking this setup, I want you to internally rotate your shoulder this way. We're going to rotate it out. It's almost like I'm grabbing my elbow here and I'm rotating it out that way. So my lead arm is actually facing more to the target. My elbow is hinging along this direction a little bit more rather than this way a little bit more. What that's going to do is encourage me in the most natural, easy way possible for my path to go that way. It's going to lead me that way. And I mentioned Bryson DeChambeau, and he talks about this. He kind of takes it to an extreme level. I'm trying to really make it very, very simple. And I want you to make this tiny adjustment, is internally rotate. You don't have to really hunch over. I'm not asking you to do this. It's just a subtle movement. And you'll notice that that's probably where you normally are, trying to get your backside out, trying to stand upright like so. You're doing this. Very restrictive. If you allow those shoulders just to round and internally rotate, you'll almost feel like you can rock the shoulders a little bit more, and you have this path coming through the ball that's just a little bit more free flowing without resistance. So when we do that, when we internally rotate and I'm holding the club, my hands are going to naturally move a little bit further forward to be able to get that compression. But now all I have to do is allow the club to track along the path that has been dictated by my setup, by my upper body, by my elbows. Everything is moving that way. And without even trying, my path is going a little bit more from the inside. So if we want to hit a draw, that's going to be what we want. So it's almost going to feel like a putting action, which is very useful because we can use it on putts, we can use it on chips and pitches. But by just doing that tiny little movement, bringing that elbow out and maintaining that setup as we swing, we can really get the strike moving from the inside. I want you to allow yourself, when you create this setup, to almost feel like there's separation of your forearms. That you're not trying to squeeze everything in, you're actually trying to separate them a little bit. Doesn't mean we're just doing this as we swing back. We're not just doing this, we're maintaining the shape that we've created at setup here, and I'm maintaining that shape. So as I swing back, I'm maintaining that width. And again, that's going to help me track on that path without anywhere near as much manipulation as if I was here. Okay, I'm exaggerating a bit, but now I've got to do all that just to get the ball back because I'm stuck, I'm manipulating. So really trust that you can keep those arms with separation. We don't have to pin them against our body. We just have them resting on top, but externally rotate, keep them separate, and you will be hitting it further and probably with a draw if you start getting a bit of practice in. That's it. Now, once you've got this right, you can apply it to your putting game as well, believe it or not. And I want you to check out this video, which is going to take you through the steps to do that, to hold more and shoot lower scores. Thanks for watching. See you next time.